Hello everyone, semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about how restrictive the carnivore diet is. But first let me say welcome to all the new people. I'm glad you're here. Normally I'm outside walking around, but it has been so windy the last 3 days that there's no sound to be had out there while I'm walking around. I like to be out walking around because I do my best thinking when I'm out there, but I can't record anything outside right now. I'm hoping the wind dies down before I leave tomorrow night, because today is Saturday. Hopefully I'll get this uploaded in time for you guys to have this today. I did not get it done. I normally record the day before, but as most of you know, yesterday was men's conference here at the church and I was busy all day. I'll get into that more down at the end of the video. First, let's talk about this, how restrictive the carnivore diet is. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. But let's just jump right into this, how restrictive the carnivore diet is. Yes, I did cut my hair. For the men's conference. I do it about twice a year. I basically just shave all the fuzz off, and it's good for about 6 months. It doesn't grow that fast. So now I don't have to worry about it for another 6 months or so. But anyway, I hear this a lot from people. Oh, how can you possibly just eat meat and eggs? You don't have anything to eat. Well, first of all, I love meat. Even if I'm just making a simple the hamburger mixed with a little tuna to up the omega-3s. And of course, the new research I'm showing, I don't know if I need to do that or not, but I'm gonna keep going with that for now because I feel pretty good doing that. But I love roasts. I love stew meats. The steaks that I've had down here, remember I got those ribeyes on sale and I had those. I mean, I like meat. I like meat a lot. My glasses are still grease covered. I was manning the grill yesterday. I'll tell you all about that down later in the video. So I don't find it restrictive at all. What I do find restrictive, if I think back to where I was 10.5 months ago, not being able to stand up for more than 2 to 2.5 minutes at a time without severe pain setting in. That was pretty restrictive. Not being able to get out and do anything because I couldn't stand up. Dealing with all the different aches and pains and problems that come with type 2 diabetes. That was really restrictive. Having the severe arthritis pain, having severe spinal stenosis pain, that was really, really restrictive. Fatty liver, you don't notice so much. That's one of those things. But stage 1 chronic kidney disease, another one of those things you don't really notice. But it all adds up into how you feel overall. And being able to get out and do stuff is the greatest marker of how you're feeling. And I feel really good now. Yesterday, I soaked up a lot of vitamin D yesterday. But yeah, so that's what's restrictive. All of the problems that a so-called balanced diet will give you. Balanced diet is one of those great marketing campaigns. Just like breakfast is the most important meal of the day, eat the rainbow. It's all marketing campaigns. There's no science behind it. None. If you look at all of the research that they're calling research out there into nutritional science, and I use that term loosely because nutritional science just isn't science right now. Although they're working to correct that. There are currently, as I said in yesterday or the day before's video, there are currently over 400 studies registered with the National Institute of Health.gov, I think is where it's at, but they have a listing of all current studies that the government is aware of, and there are over 400 of them looking at different aspects of the carnivore lifestyle. So it'll be interesting to see what comes to that. I'm figuring we're still, 20 years away from this getting mainstreamed, if it ever does get mainstreamed, because there's just too much money to be had in all of the super processed foods. Big pharmacy doesn't make any money if you're well. It's just, there's a lot of hurdles to overcome before the majority of the people in this country start eating a proper human diet. But that's what's restrictive. So we're several, many years out from it being mainstream. But as we got one other quick thing I wanted to say about the studies, I heard an interesting point. They can do all of the epidemiological studies, which is food questionnaire type studies. They can do all of those. They can have all these theories. Let's just use one of the biggest ones. Oh, well, you can't eat just an all-meat diet or you'll get scurvy because you don't get enough vitamin C. It sounds like a really good hypothesis. And many different studies can come up with different things to show that it might be true. But one actual hardline fact is that there's not a single case of a carnivore getting scurvy. Multiple decade carnivores. It does not happen. So while epidemiological studies cannot actually show cause and effect to prove a hypothesis correct, it only takes one real experiment to prove that hypothesis wrong. And people eating a carnivore diet don't get scurvy. Now, I actually know someone who thought he was showing some signs of scurvy early, but let's be very clear, he's a keto person. And he may not have been getting enough vitamin C, because the thing that happens with vitamin C is it competes. Vitamin C is very similar to a glucose molecule, and it competes on the same receptor. So if you're eating carbs, sugar, doesn't even have to be refined sugar or processed sugar, just anything that turns into sugar or glucose in the body, the vitamin C you have in has to compete with that. So all of the nutritional studies and the dietary guidelines for how much vitamin C you should get are working off of the theory that, this is a standard American diet, this is what everybody is. Well, if you take the glucose out of the equation, except at normal levels provided by gluconeogenesis, then the vitamin C doesn't have to compete so hard to hit those receptors, and you soak it up and use it and do all the good stuff that it does, because it is essential. You do have to have some, that's a fact. But you don't have to have these vast amounts of vitamin C in your system if you're not overcoming it with vast loads of sugar. Anyway, I just thought that was an interesting point on studies that, thousands of hypotheses and theories cannot prove a subject right, but one experiment can prove it wrong. And the fact is that carnivores don't get scurvy. But anyway, diet restriction, so it's all of the other ailments that we get rid of that are restrictive. And as I've said before, and I will say it again, I don't remember where I heard it. It might have been, I think it was Dr. Chafee that said it, but it might have been Coach Bronson. I watch so many people, it's hard to remember who all said what, and I apologize if this is your statement and you're watching this. I would love to give you credit, but there is no food that tastes as good as being healthy feels. And I completely and totally agree with that. So, quick update on why I'm doing this, trying to get this real time uploaded for you today, because today is moving day. I'm in the process of tearing everything down, getting things packed up, ready to travel, because that happens tomorrow. I'm hoping to record another video later today and get it uploaded and set up just before I unplug everything to go to sleep tonight, because I'm going to pull in my electric lines and do all that stuff tonight, so I don't have to mess with anything tomorrow. I can just, after church, jump in the truck and go. So we'll see. I probably will release that on Monday rather than Sunday, because Sunday's videos tend not to do quite as well. So I'll probably schedule that one to release on Monday. So here's advance notice that there's not going to be a video tomorrow. I may find a short to upload or something, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I got really busy yesterday. With people coming and going, bringing stuff in for the men's conference last night. I was constantly helping people unload their cars and carry stuff from one building to another. And then just as I was sitting down to record a video with about an hour and a half left before the men's conference started, Brother Brandon came and knocked on my trailer and said, "Hey, one of the guys I had scheduled isn't going to be able to make it because he got stuck at work. Can you come man the grill?" Okay, well, I'm not a great grilling person, but I'm happy to try. But they ended up having Brother Jorge's big, one of those big flat top commercial grills. I started off with 30 hamburgers on it, and as they started to cook down, I flipped them and slid them over the side and started new burgers on another side. And it went really well. I mean, I cooked up about 100 of the 160 burgers they had cooked, because they had a second grill out there, but it was an actual, the wire grate top thing, and I don't do well with those. So I'm standing out there. They had them set up in the edge of the parking lot, so of course I'm standing out there in the sun, and they had another grill going on my other side that they were doing all the hot dogs on. So I'm standing there in the sun, grease spraying on me from all the hamburgers I'm cooking, and the smoke from the two other grills swirling around me, and the heat from 3 grills because I was stuck in the middle. But it was a great time. We had a lot of fun getting all those burgers and hot dogs cooked up, and we had a crowd yesterday. We thought for sure that we bought too much food. We cooked up 160 hamburgers, and I think it was 140 hot dogs. Plus we had baked beans and mashed potatoes. Not that I ate any of that stuff. Baked beans and mashed potatoes, and chips and dessert and all the trimmings you could want with it. Plus they had, sliced up onions and lettuce and tomatoes and all that, and pickles to put on your burgers, and relish and all the stuff to put on the hot dogs. So we ran out of food. Everybody got to eat. They ate until it was gone. After everybody had gotten a big plate full of food, Pastor then said, "Okay, if you're still hungry, here's all this food. We don't want any of it left. Go ahead and get seconds. Eat it till it's gone." And they did. But we didn't run out of food everybody got to have some. But we went through a lot of food last night. And then the service itself with Brother Copeland back in, he was the guy that came in to do our revival. He came back in and did our men's conference last night. It was really good. I had a great day. I thought I had some sunburn, and I can't tell if my head is still red or not in this lighting, but it doesn't hurt, so I'm certainly not sunburned. But I was, standing out in the sun. I soaked up a lot of good vitamin D, and my glasses are still a little smudgy because grease just gets everywhere. But anyway, I've got to get this video uploading to get it to you today. And we'll have hopefully another video for you on Monday. And then hopefully a short on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then there may be something going on Thursday evening that you might want to tune into somebody else's YouTube channel. The plans haven't been officially set in stone, so I'm not going to say any more than that, but be on the lookout. I'll announce it if I'm going to actually be there. Or maybe I won't, because most of you guys watch that channel too, so maybe I'll just show up. But anyway, don't forget to get out there, be 1% better today, folks. Have a great day. I'll see you not tomorrow, but Monday.